Hi, and welcome to the Free Your Spirit podcast. I'm your guide, Carole Frey, founder of Free Spirited Wanderer, a conscious wellness business of yoga retreats, lifestyle coaching, and yoga teacher mentorship. In this podcast, we explore conscious business, yoga on and off the mat, and general lifestyle. Our aim is to help you live a more fulfilling and purposeful life. Whether you're an entrepreneur, yoga student, yoga teacher, or simply someone looking to make positive changes in your daily life. Join us as we share insights, tips, and stories to inspire you on your path to a more free-spirited life. So sit back, relax, and let's embark on a journey of self-discovery, adventure, and expansion. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Free Your Spirit podcast. I'm your host, Carole Frey. I hope you are doing amazing today wherever you are in the world. So my husband and I have been back home for about a week now from London. We were there for 4 days on our own little holiday after leading 2 weeks of back-to-back yoga retreats in the Amalfi Coast, Italy. And we had a really incredible time, as you can imagine. We were gone for about 3 weeks total. And I will say, as much as I love to travel and explore and lead these retreats, it is always really nice just coming back home and, getting back into my own personal routine. And we aren't home too long this time. We actually leave in 2 weeks for our 4th retreat in Vermont. And then we have 2 more left for this year. So I definitely really do enjoy my time when I am back home, and it is very, very sacred to me. So within this time right now, I'm also working on our 2024 retreat schedule. So this is just a super exciting time for me. I love getting to fine tune these retreats, finding these locations, the dates, and then being able to share these with everybody. So I really love this time of year, and I'm just really excited to share what we have coming next year with you very, very soon. And this tees me up for today's episode, where we're going to talk about the energy of a woman's retreat. And we already had my women's retreat this year, Authentic Feminine Women's Retreat in Tulum, Mexico, back in February. We had an amazing group of 18 women from all over the U.S. and one from Canada. And it's always really, really just amazing to see the people that come together on these retreats, like all different walks of life, different backgrounds, different reasons for being here. And it's just really cool how everyone ends up in the same place, essentially. Now, just to back up a little bit, so I started leading these women's retreats in 2021. And originally, this women's retreat was an online coaching program, Authentic Feminine Mastermind. And this was something I created around the time of the pandemic, when things were still very uncertain and we couldn't really do like a whole lot of in-person events. So my retreats were put on hold, and I was able to kind of pivot and do this coaching program virtually for a while. Now, when things started to open back up a little bit, I was thinking like, okay, let's do this program in person. And how amazing would that be to, lead these sessions, these practices in person in a just incredible place in the world. And I found Sala, which is in Tulum, Mexico. And I just really loved them. And they are a well-oiled machine for retreats. They do an incredible job of hosting everybody. The accommodations are beautiful. The food is super healthy, so yummy. You're literally right on the beach. And you also have this really cool infinity pool right there. And you're also walking distance to all the shops and the other restaurants, cafes. And they also have a lot of really amazing excursions. So they do, let's see, this Mayan clay meditation on the beach. And then off the property, they do a trip to the Mayan ruins, the mangroves. Where else do we go? The cenotes. And I think they have some other things too. But they just it's a really cool experience. And I feel like it just has something for everybody, whether you just want to stay and relax on the beach, or you want to go out and explore the shops, or you want to go to the excursions and explore some of the culture that Tulum has to offer. And I really love finding these places that just have a little bit of something for everybody. So I've been going back to Tulum ever since that 2021. So that was my fourth retreat my third retreat in 2023 with them. So next year, we are going back again. So make sure at the bottom in the show notes that you sign up for the interest list. So you do get VIP access. You'll be the first person to hear about this, and you'll also get a one-time only special offer. Now, a little deeper dive into what these women's retreats are. So these are really just these retreats are set around this motivation, mindset, embodiment, and empowerment. So in the morning, we have a variety of yoga classes where we do yoga asana, pranayama, meditation. We do them with an incredible view of the ocean as well. And again, they're just a variety. Some days we'll do vinyasa, slow flow, deep stretch, power yoga, core strengthen and stretch, sometimes Ashtanga. So we do that in the morning. And then the evenings are empowerment practices. Now, these different empowerment practices are basically these topics that I have struggled with in my life and just around being a woman, some of the, the hardships that we come across and, certain things like self-love, finding love for our body, for who we are, discovering who we are and finding the courage to actually be that version of ourselves. We also do different practices on how to take back our power and how to stand in our power. And also just creating our vision for our life. It's knowing what are we up to? What and where do we desire to go? Who do we desire to become? So we have a different topic every evening. And these practices consist of a lot of journaling, meditation, embodiment practices, which is usually dancing, and just how we can feel the energy into our bodies. And then discussion. It's sharing our hearts with one another. And that's really what these spaces are, is they're a safe space for these like-hearted women to come together to share in these transformational practices and to, support one another, to empower one another, to, we share our experience with someone and it helps someone in a different way. Or maybe we are going through something similar and sometimes we feel really alone. So when we can open up and share these things and we find out that we're not alone, we have other people going through these similar things and it really helps us. And it's really an honor for me to see all these women come together and to support one another, to hold space for one another, listening to one another, and just offering what they can offer in that space. Now, really the overall energy of these women's retreats are how these like-hearted and like-minded women come together and increase the frequency of the group and the vibration of the world. So when more than two like-minded people come together, there is this power that increases. So for me, I feel fortunate because I get to experience this every day with going to our Ashtanga Yoga Shala. Now, Ashtanga Yoga, we do this Mysore style. So it's a self-guided practice. I know the practice and I can do this practice at home. I can do this in my own yoga space and I can guide myself through it. However, I choose to wake up at 5:30 or wake up at 4:30 in the morning, to leave at 5:30 in the morning, to drive 30 minutes to do this practice with a group and with a teacher. And the reason why is because of the energy of the group. It's to hear other people breathing, to practice alongside with them, to, be in their energy and to share my energy. And there's just something about that is, you can't put a price on that. You can't compare anything else to that. Me doing a practice at home is just not the same as with that group, and especially having a teacher holding space and guiding you through and helping you to deepen and expand the practices and to have a deeper understanding of these teachings. So yes, I can do this at home by myself, but I choose to be in this group with the energy. And I've noticed the impact that it has on my daily life of just being around these awesome people that are up to the same thing that I am up to. And that is what these women's retreats are. It's bringing together other people that are up to the same things as us, people that we can relate to, connect to, and share in that energy. So now, like when we share in that energy, and think about this, when you've had maybe even just a conversation with someone and you realize that your paths are so aligned and you have kind of like that same, thinking patterns or mindset, and it lights you up inside, right? Like I can think of people I've met or talked with, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like you are up to the same thing as me. And it just excites me. And you can kind of just like build this natural organic communication off of that, or conversation off of that. So that's really what happens in these spaces, is it enhances the power of every practice. It enhances the power within the group and within each individual, right? There's like something inside of you that wakes up and lights up. And that light just wants to be seen. It wants to be shared. So basically everyone finds themselves living at this higher frequency. And you can think about this, like the people, as you get together, they celebrate, they motivate, they grow, and they share in each other's joy. And that's a big takeaway right there, because my teacher said years ago, I remember, I will never forget this. And she was just saying that, someone else's joy is also your joy, right? Like we get to share in this abundance of that joy. And when we're genuinely happy for someone else, like happy for their success, their accomplishments, we get lit up inside again. Like we do experience that sense of joy. But when we're jealous of them or we try to bring them down, it just puts us in this opposite effect of that hatred, that anger, that jealousy, right? So just think about that right there, to be able to share in someone else's joy. Their joy is also your joy. And again, this is how we calibrate to the energy of the group and that force that forms as they come together. So basically, people are supporting and loving one another like along the way, while also up-leveling their life. Now, the thing I do want to say with this is it is impossible to be happy all the time. It is impossible to, be in this high vibe state all the time. We are not supposed to, right? We don't know the light without the darkness. And we do have to experience the hardships, the challenges, the sadness, the anger, right? We have to experience these things in order to understand how incredible the love, the joy, the beauty is within our life. So although I'm talking about this, and I hope I get you excited about like what happens when these group comes together and how this frequency enhances, I do want to just remind you that it is impossible to be in this high vibe state all the time. And that is not really what we're teaching either. So I just want you to remember that. And, within these practices, it brings up a lot of emotion as well. It brings up like we are finding the courage to face ourselves as we become this next version of ourselves and as we have a deeper understanding of ourselves. So this work isn't always easy, right? Although it can sound really exciting and amazing, and I hope it does. But I just want to, remind everybody that there is a lot of work behind that as well. And there's a lot of courage. But that's also what these retreats help you find. They help you find the courage inside of you to face yourself and to face other things that need to be faced, right? Again, like as you find that power, it helps you to overcome some of these obstacles and hardships. So it's not just about being in this like loving high vibe. I know I keep saying high vibe, but this, in that love and light all the time. It's not about that, but it's about how can we work on ourselves and understand ourselves so we can experience that love and light, or really have like a better appreciation or understanding for it as well. So overall, this is like what the energy of this women's retreat is just having these like-minded and like-hearted women come together to share their own hearts with one another, to hold space for one another. And that's a really amazing characteristic to learn, is how to become a better listener and to just hold space with compassion, love, understanding, rather than a lot of times it's really easy to judge when we hear of other people's stories, or maybe we, don't totally relate or agree with them. So this also teaches us how to hold space for other people within our life that might not agree with us on everything, right? And I know we have those people in our life where it's like, okay, we don't always see eye to eye, but I can still love you deep, deep inside my heart, right? That love is still there, and that doesn't need to change. And I just think, as we do these practices and have this understanding for ourselves and more compassion for ourselves, we have more compassion for other people as well. So these women's retreats and these retreats in general just teach us so many beautiful life lessons. And that's really my goal, is that you leave with this, understanding of how to take these practices into your daily life and how you can live life to the fullest in alignment with your truest, most authentic self. So these transformational practices are really these secrets to a better mindset, more confidence, increased energy. And again, that courage it takes not only to discover yourself, but to actually share that version of yourself with the world and to take up space in your truest, most authentic self. And we need more women and just badass people in general to take up more space within this world. And we need these practices to be shared, these pieces of ourselves to be shared. And these retreats offer, again, this safe, supportive, and loving space for us to be in together. And all of this gets awakened and activated through these physical yoga practices, meditation, journaling, solar plexus chakra work, intuitive dance, and this authentic feminine connection, as well as that rest and relaxation. And this authentic feminine connection is just a really integral part of these retreats. And it's kind of, what I am talking about within, these like-hearted women coming together. And this authentic feminine connection, of course, happens in these workshops as we, share in these practices together. But there's also a really organic way that this happens, that we have a lot of free time. And this is a really great opportunity to get to know somebody else on the retreat, to connect with them and learn about them. And this is where, I see a lot of people just connect even on a deeper level of maybe finding out that they're going through something similar, or they just, relate on a whole different level. So having this time to just have your own organic communication is really powerful as well. And I also think the practices that you do here help you to find that organic communication, right? To have the courage to share some of these things that we wouldn't just share with anybody or in any space. Again, this is all about the space that is created. And I really love, seeing all these different women come together, because a lot of people come solo. People come with their moms, their daughters, other friends or family members. So there's really a variety of that. But one thing I see is that everyone connects with one another, whether they came with a friend or a family member or by themselves. I see people that get out of their comfort zone and talk with everybody. People, sit in different places for meals. And again, just finding this own organic connection. So that's another really beautiful part of this retreat. And, I've even seen people, it's really cool. I have two women that met in Tulum this past February, and they met there, and they're both coming on my retreat in the Smoky Mountains. And we're just like, hey, do you want to do this together? Yes. And to me, I just think that is so cool. And I've had women on other retreats that I roomed together. I was like, okay, I think you two will get along. And they did, and they chose to room together on the next retreat that they joined with me. So these friendships, these really special friendships, are formed here as well. And so if you are a solo traveler and you're afraid to come by yourself, you are not alone. There are a lot of people that come by themselves. And honestly, I think it is a really brave thing to do and a great thing to do because it forces you to get out of your comfort zone and to connect with other people, to make friends, where sometimes when, we do come with someone, we are more likely to just stay with them. And that's totally fine too. If that's your intention to connect with this person that you came with, that's beautiful. But if you want to get to know other people and really branch out and get out of that comfort zone, like coming by yourself is a really great way to do that. So I will say you can, I see all sorts of people that join, whether it's with friends or by themselves. So all is welcome, and I encourage all. So I basically just wanted to come on here and just share, a little insight of what this energy of the Women's Retreat is. And this announcement for Authentic Feminine Women's Retreat 2024 is coming up really, really soon, probably in like a week, maybe 2 at the very, very most. So definitely add your name to the interest list in the show notes. Again, this will give you VIP access. So you'll be the first one to know when this retreat launches, and you'll also get a one-time only special offer. And when this retreat launches, the webpage has so much information on it. It'll tell you everything that's included. It'll tell you a little bit more about Amansala, about the food, the excursions. There's a FAQ. So any questions you have, they should be answered on there. And if they are not, I am always here for you. I'm Carole at freespiritedwanderer.com, or you can always connect with me on Instagram, FSW_empire. And I'm always here to answer any questions that you have to make you feel more comfortable and confident in your decision to join. You'll also see a sample schedule on there. You'll see a full gallery of pictures from the previous years, as well as previous testimonials, and probably a few other things as well. So that webpage is a whole experience in itself. And again, I'm super excited to launch this retreat again soon. I've just really have enjoyed leading these retreats the past few years. And I've always wanted to do these women's retreats, even since I started teaching early on in 2015. It was something that was just on my heart because, I had gone through a lot of hardships in my life, as everyone has. And, some of them were, just even the things of finding love for ourselves, of learning how to love our bodies, learning how to love who we are, to, find confidence in the path that we choose and, the people that we surround ourselves with, and just other ways of like how to take our power back, how to stand in our power, learning how to create a vision for our life and how to, find the action steps and the goals to make those visions come true, to make that our reality. And overall, that's really like what this retreat is doing, is helping you, again, like I said, to become that fullest expression of yourself, but to really create your desired lifestyle. It is a reminder that you are powerful beyond all measure, that you have everything you need to cultivate your intentions, your desires, your dreams, and to live that lifestyle. And this retreat gives you these practices to get clear on where you're going within your life. And again, to find this understanding of who you are. And it really teaches us how to live life from the inside out rather than the outside in, because society has always and will always tell us how we need to look, what we need to eat, how we should exercise, who we need to be, what job we need to work, all these things, right? Society will always come in and be that voice. So we really need to learn how to make our voice the loudest. So how we can listen to ourselves and find that, that relationship with ourselves, to understand that intuition and to be guided by that intuition. So again, this retreat has so many things to offer, but it's really here just so you can get clear on who you are and that life that you desire to live and how to go out and live it. And in the process, you meet other amazing badass women that are up to the same things as you. And I still keep in touch with basically all of them. And I see them. I've actually even seen a couple of them plan a trip together. Again, it's really, really cool. It's super special just to see women from all over create and form these friendships. And I'm just super honored to be able to be in that space with them. So If this is speaking to you, if it's lighting you up inside, I hope you join us next year. Get on that interest list. And if you have any questions in the meantime, I'm also always here for you again on email or Instagram. And I could talk about this forever and ever. So I'm going to end it here. And until next week, keep showing up as your truest, most authentic self.